I call our second speaker in proposition of the motion, when I can find... There we are, Harry Balden. Harry Balden is a third year studying history at Fitzwilliam College, and we asked him for a bio, and he said, Harry Balden is a Netflix anthology series that explores the moral dilemmas that arise from our relationship with technology. Harry, the floor is yours.
Fourscore and 7 years ago... Oh, wait. Wrong speech. always start like that. Bam, we're in. Right. If it may please you, Mr. President, I'd like to start with some subtle rebuttal. So cast your mind back behind this atrocity that we've just seen of Frieso's rap to his actual speech. And I'd like to rebut that by saying, Frieso, you piece of shit. You call that a speech? Are you a man or a mouse? This is the Cambridge Union. This floor was once sparred across by James Baldwin and William F. Buckley, and how the mighty have fallen, ladies and gentlemen, is all I can say, frankly. Right. So, sorry, I'm just entranced by, the concept of, canned water that we've been provided by. I've been kind of staring at it. I'll save that for later. Right. You see, Mr. President, in proposing this motion, I don't actually think that this motion goes far enough. Because the motion says that the Footlights have ruined British comedy. However, John Oliver is in America with such incredible content as trying to get everyone to call Donald Trump by his ancestral German name of Drumpf. How can you possibly vote against this motion? What counts as satire in a John Oliver segment is just him sharing a look with the audience and saying, duh. And among the audience, you can feel the excitement building. There's something in the room. What could this be? And then he goes, Donald. And people can barely contain themselves, sitting on their hands, the odd whoop in the distance. And then, to finish, he goes, Donald Trump! And it's as if jacked to MDMA, a wave of exultation engulfs the room and everyone explodes in exultant chuckling. But beyond that, through the television screen, in the Rust Belt states, you feel their mind changing. In Pennsylvania, in Michigan, in Wisconsin, you start to feel that they're changing their mind, that Hillary should have won in 2016, that they want to take back their electoral college votes and reassign them to the worthy victor. History corrected. When Donald Trump gave Rush Limbaugh, the incendiary radio talk presenter, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor, well, maybe after the election this year, President Klobuchar, whoever it is, could give it to John Oliver for his years of service for the Republic. We may laugh, but John Oliver is actually a worthy link to a Footlights heritage in a way, because before it became known for that Mitchell and Webb look and other such war crimes, the Footlights came to prominence in the 60s for producing many of the comics like Peter Cook and David Frost, who spearheaded the satire boom that lampooned Britain's antiquated institutions and outdated class system. Because who better to mock these things than the white, the male, and the privately educated? God, it's really damning of this country if the people who mock the establishment were produced by it, who went to public school, who performed in the basement of the Cambridge Union. On the ground floor is the incubator of the British establishment, and underneath are their supposed mockers, all sharing the same bar, all knowing each other. Is there any greater damning indictment of the Footlights heritage than that? And actually, the Footlights wave of comedy began a sort of change in the comedy landscape. Before the Footlights, comedy was a kind of incubator of local culture. A mixed bill was considered someone from the Northeast, someone from the Midlands, someone from the South. But after the Footlights, it just becomes another purview of the Oxbridge elite. And it just contributes to the social stratification of society where ordinary people don't find means of cultural expression and avenues are shut off to all but the very privileged. I'm not saying that the Footlights caused Brexit, but I am saying that the Footlights caused Brexit. Footlights equals Brexit, lads. Anyway, before I retreated into this Python-esque nonsense and wordplay, that's before what it is essentially known today. To demonstrate this, I'm going to read aloud 5 sketches from Footlights past, as in groups that have gone on to fame, except one is fake. And we're going to see if the room can guess which one that could be. First sketch, accurate description. For a full minute, all that happens is a man is repeatedly slapped in the face by a fish. Can you imagine the writing of this sketch? Poor guy, and it was definitely a guy, slaving away all night thinking, God, this show just misses a certain something. There's just one last piece of jigsaw puzzle that we're not getting here. And then one night he has a moment of eureka as he realizes, man getting hit by a fish. But at first it seems already too late because the script has gone off to the commissioning editors, it's already finalized, and so he has to run to the printing houses and yell, stop press, stop press, stop press, or I have one more sketch. I have a new sketch. I have a sketch that will save the world. Right. Sketch number 2. An enormous kitten by the name of Kitten Kong terrorizes the citizenry of London with its mighty paw knocks over the dome of St. Paul's Cathedral. Sketch number 3. Someone writes a joke so funny that it can't be shown to anyone and wins the Allies' World War II. There's an A to B to this point, but I'll just let you guess what that is. I think it's better left as a sort of enigma for us all to kind of guess at. In the fact it's so subliminally mysterious, maybe you can kind of see the point that I'm trying to make as to the utter pointlessness of anything that passes for content in Footlights folklore. 4th sketch. Someone gives their name in a police station as Mr. As in the noise it makes is Mr. To which one can only say, think of an actual joke. Final sketch. Right, last one. 2 people just repeat the word number wang until we're all bored into exhaustion, and that's it. Maybe one day they do it in German and briefly resuscitates the corpse. Right, okay. Now, does anyone want to guess what they think is like the sketch that I just made up? Right, it's like we've got the face and the fish. Anyone think that? Hands up, or... Okay, you, right. There's the enormous kitten by the name of Kitten Kong. Yeah, okay, right, you all think that's the fake one. 3rd sketch, someone writes a joke so funny it wins the Allies' World War II. Anyone think that's the fake one? Right, 4th sketch, someone gives their name in a police station as Mr. Anyone think that's fake? 1 vote, 2 votes. Right, final sketch. People just say the word number wang over and over again. Does anyone think I made that up? No one. Right, well, we all lose. They're all real. Not yet. And the fact that we all lose, you won't find a more summary of the debate than that. Okay, right. I'll briefly do this again. There's 5 more, but we'll rattle through these very quickly, right? Concept of a sketch. People are dancing to house music in a club, and when the music drops, the stock market crashes. Someone decides to clean up politics and combat corruption by starting a game show where prominent public figures are dunked in fairy liquid, and briefly everything improves, but then the situation deteriorates once again. And once everyone gets used to it, the old ways return. So there's a new game show where, to really ram home the message, politicians are dunked in bleach. Someone is just going about, 3rd sketch, someone is just going about their life before they're accosted in a strange man in sunglasses and a suit, a sort of G-man, and they wonder, who is this man? Why have they come into my life? But then this man reveals himself to be a secret agent, and that you've been chosen, and that for the rest of your life you're going to be a YouTuber. 4th sketch, 2 Victorian school children are playing catch in the playground, but it turns out what they're really catching is TB. Final sketch, a man whistling Snow Patrol is attacked by Bono and his gang of gnomes for copyright infringement. Now, do anyone want to yell out what they think is the fake one of the ones I've just think? Anything at all? The Snow Patrol, anything? All right, because the answer is, they're all fake. None of them are real. But they might as well have been real, judging by what is essentially nonsense. Except, because I'm a member of the Footlights, they are now real, and they are now Footlight sketches. So please, right, I don't know what I have to do. I don't have to say as a Footlight. I don't know what I have to do to, ruin comedy for you to vote for I, right, in the ayes and nays, when we it's called for division, for those of you who vote for yeah, right? But I don't know what kind of crap, why did the chicken cross the road? Like, it's a chicken. It has no concept of traffic laws. Three men walk into a bar and get a drink and a bit of a catch-up. One of them brings their girlfriend along and the others engage with her respectfully but secretly wish she wasn't there. Do you want to know why the Queen has 2 birthdays? Because she was actually born like twice. I don't know, right? Like, you want to know why the Footlights? Thank you. You want to know why the Footlights are bad? Because they start speeches with terrible homages to Abraham Lincoln, and then bad rebuttal where they just call the opposition member a shit, right? Okay, like, please, I'm begging you, right? Just vote yes, okay? Literally, like, Monty Python made a career where they all dress in headscarves and for 5 aimless minutes with no structure just sort of stand there twittering about going, right? That's what it is. It's people who had bright lives, bright potentials ahead of them at the greatest university in the world and decided to squander it on nonsense in a life that is actually really hard to get yourself established in and takes years of groundwork, okay? And this is what people do it. And what you get at the end of that is a speech that doesn't even have a punchline, but just sort of peters out at the kind of end of its sort of content stream. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.